Hi there. I wanted to start working on the city center. The mayor's gonna live there. I'm starting to get used to the idea of having diagonal roads. Although the city still complains that there is gridlock afoot. Everything went pretty smoothly. This was an hour of live gameplay, and I only got invaded by aliens twice. This was the first time I got invaded by aliens. And I remembered to use the siren. A lot of fires did break out though. You'll also see me going back through the buildings and improving the land value around it by adding parks. And just demolishing anything that was busted up. There are a lot of disasters to keep track of. As well as having to constantly battle, adding more water sources, pump stations. There's a constant battle with the earthquakes that occur, making me have to rebuild water pipes constantly. I was almost ready to back out of doing the garbage deal with Galvin, or whoever their name is. I was worried, but then I realized I'm always going to be demolishing and replacing these garbage facilities. It's just going to be an expense I have, just like repairing buildings struck from disaster. Between the time spent balancing the budget, dealing with our facilities like power, trash, water, I'm able to build on the city center a little bit here and there. Here's an unfortunate tornado that struck a pretty well-populated area of the city. And it was followed up pretty much immediately after with a whirlpool, so that's always good. I looked in the business deals earlier on in this playthrough and I saw there was none actually adding to our treasury. But then I realized I hadn't actually added anything except for the military base, and so I'm just gonna pretend like everything's okay. But I did add the defense contractor and the spaceport. Unfortunately though, aliens would attack my spaceport and destroy it. And apparently, small man-made lakes can have whirlpools form in them, which I was not aware of at the time. I am proud to admit, though, that there were no bridges that were destroyed during this playthrough. Here I get into serious mayor mode, and I'm checking the flammability of the areas, as well as the crime and everything like that to make sure I have enough buildings placed. And also, when you get into that view mode, you only see the buildings that provide that service, so there's no skyscrapers in the way. But yeah, at this point in the building process, I noticed I was really enjoying just kind of chilling and watching the growth happen. Because demand was like so high, I could just make a little square of commercial or residential, as dense as possible, put a few parks around it, and it would start to make skyscrapers and stuff, and it looked cool. And I was also experimenting with diagonal roads and park placement and stuff like that. But I was always getting pulled away because of a disaster or something, like a small fire, or another alien invasion. And this is when they destroyed my spaceport. I was actually worried while playing because I wasn't sure if it would come back, but I found that you just have to demolish it and it will reappear in your gifted buildings, so. And then, out of nowhere, I think people were freaked out from the alien invasion, but there were people who were rioting kind of near the edge of my city, and that happened last time on the opposite end. So it's kind of like weird. I don't really know who these people are. It seems like they're kind of invaders to my city. But we're just dealing with our own disasters here, and we just got all this violence happening in the streets. I mean, the game said it was literally like a war zone. But luckily nothing happened because I think they were out in the middle of the highway that led to another city, and I wasn't really populated out there. I'm sure if a riot were to spawn in a populated region, it would cause a lot of fires and stuff, but speaking of fires, there was a huge earthquake, and then it caused there to be like widespread fires that couldn't be accessed because the roads got destroyed from the earthquake. And because I had auto go to disasters, I was constantly having my camera shifted while I was trying to repair roads and send firefighters. So I think I end up turning off that feature. I mean, I was at the point in my head that I thought the city was going to fail because I couldn't get the fires under control. But luckily everything chills out and I can go back to like finding weird tiles that are messed up. And then I get attacked by more tornadoes as I'm trying to build these diagonal roads, and it's like, they're just making it harder for me to make a stylish city is all I'm seeing. I think the only issue I have with repairing water pipes so much is that I'm never sure if it's because of my capacity issue or because an earthquake caused there to be a break in the line. And this here was the last straw with having on auto go to disasters. We just had a little forest fire out here. And I kind of jokingly just put a marker out there just to see. But yeah, I'm just trying to build and look at things, and then I realized that we had a helicopter that was on its way out there the whole time. He gets there and starts circling because my marker isn't in the right spot for him and he doesn't know what to do. And then the fire just goes out on its own. And yeah, that's about it. The city's doing good. It's still fighting the garbage pandemic because of our business deal with Gavlin. And while our power source teetering on the garbage of another city is kind of worrisome, I think with the backup of having fusion power plants, and we have any other type of power source available to us. I mean, the year is like 2158, so we're pretty much far into the future. Our money is doing good, our population is still doing good. I'm looking forward to see what other kinds of buildings and stuff comes into play here, or if there's any kind of new business deals or stuff. But that's about it. Next time, there will be more building. And thanks for watching the time lapse up to here.